There we go. Can you see me now? Let me know in the chat, please, if you can see me. I am Hannah, and I am so excited to be with everyone live again. It's been a while since I have hosted a live event like this. So yeah, looking forward to vibing with you guys. Today, we're going to do something very, very exciting. This is something that you have been working towards a long time, even if you weren't consciously aware. And this is something you have now earned, and that is to really activate your own personal dragon's energy, taking it to the next level. And so know that if you're here, if you're drawn to this, whether you're here live or you're watching the recording, the time has come. The time has come, friends, to go to the next level with your dragon energy, to set yourself loose, to set yourself free, to stop playing small. And if you're with me live, let me know if you're feeling that. Let me know. You can give me some ones. That's a nice a shorthand that we like to use. Or better yet, here's what we're gonna use today. RAR. You can type RAR in the chat if you're feeling this. Like let's start channeling the dragon energy right now with some RARs. And yeah, so you have been prepared for this energetically. Like probably you've been feeling tired lately. Maybe you've been feeling really angry, really frustrated, perhaps stagnant, because your system has been prepared for the activation that we are going to do together today. Of course, there's many other things going on, but again, if you're drawn to this, it means that this is a part of it for you. This dragon energy is a big part of it for you. The dragons are coming back, you could say. They've always been here, but they're coming back up in the collective consciousness again in a big way. And you can already see it like in fiction. More and more dragons are popping up in fiction. More and more spiritual people, I've certainly noticed, are talking about dragons connecting with dragon energy. The dragons are rising in our consciousness, and we are rising with them. Can I get some RARs? I see some RARs. I love it. I love it. Yep. All those feelings. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Cool. So if you guys are here with me live today, I'm curious where you're tuning in from. And that back there is my cat Ryuji. His butt says hi. He's feeling the fire. He's feeling the fiery energy. I can feel that. He's a little playful right now. So he might be popping in and out. He's enjoying the flower energy. Yeah. Okay, where do we got people tuning in from? We got South Africa. We've got Romanian, but living in the UK. Okay. Quebec, Canada, Massachusetts, Texas, Canadian Prairie, sounds magical, Netherlands, Florida. Dang, we got people from all over repping here. I love it. Yeah, I love everywhere and anywhere. That's a great response. Love to all from Colorado. Oh, I love Colorado. Hi, baby dragon kitty. Yes. You can see him. He's going to be chilling back there, I think, holding the space for us. And I myself, if you did not know, I'm tuning in from Berlin, Germany. I'm not German, I'm American, but I'm currently living in Berlin, Germany. And I don't know, I'm feeling called. Let's see if we can do this. So I don't know if you've been following my stuff, but the cherry blossom energy is really strong here right now. And I literally live next to a park with the cherry blossoms. Feeling called to like show you guys if I can. I'm going to see if I can move my camera just to show you guys real quick. Because I also got the sense, the hit before this live, that like from these cherry blossoms come these like pink dragons, like this pink dragon energy, like this one here. And so the pink dragons, I guess, are going to be working with us today. And I think it's very much needed. They have a very soothing, unconditionally loving energy. So looking forward to working with them. Let's see if we can pick up some of that energy. I'm going to try and move the camera for y'all. Okay, here we go. Oh. Can you guys see? Can you guys see? It's a bit shaky. The sun's kind of coming in, but can you see them? They're like right there. Yeah? There's the cherry blossoms. You can see the light codes, the sun is directly coming in. Wow, yes, boom. So I hope you're picking up those vibes. I'm gonna put you back in a grounded position now. Just adjust. Okay, yeah, so them's the vibes. Them's the vibes today. Okay, let's see where else people are tuning in from. I always like to see where you guys are tuning in from. And like I said, it seems like we got people from all over, which is great. It's totally in alignment with this dragon energy. If you watched my recent video on what a dragon mage is, there's a strong element of grid work to it. And so I can just see with people tuning in from all these different places today, the grid work is happening. It is definitely happening. We got Halifax, Canada. We got Netherlands, Texas, Rhode Island, France, Florida currently, Sweden, cool, Ohio. Ryuji is so valid. I love it. Yes, saw the photos, beautiful. Yeah, what oracle do you have? This is the Dragon Path Oracle deck by Caroline Mitchell, I believe. Love that deck. Yeah, Kuan Yin's dragons are also pink. They certainly are. And there's a strong element of Kuan Yin here too. Definitely, definitely. She's like one of my favorite ascended masters. I even have like this pendant of her. I'll share it with you guys. My dragon horde collection. I don't know if you can see, that's her, Kuan Yin. So yeah, she's with us, and her pink dragons are with us. Totally. Orlando, cool. Also Orlando, I love it. I used to live in Orlando. Used to live in Ohio as well. Got some more Floridians. Darwin, Australia, awesome. I also lived in Australia. I've lived basically everywhere. Toronto, Canada, cool. We got a nice group today. So I'm curious. I got a question. Like, okay, what's today's session about? In essence, it's about activating your dragon energy. And it's just going to be very intuitive, actually. I don't exactly know what to expect. It's going to be very intuitive. And they're guiding me to ask you guys, what are your intentions joining this live today? What called you to join this live today? What is your intention? Lay them out for me there in the chat, and we're going to hold those for you guys. So I will say, we do have like an activation and guided meditation journey on deck today. That'll be a little bit later. And then at the very, very end of the session, you will be able to ask me any questions that you have. So this is a great opportunity to get your questions answered, get your burning questions answered. And also, let me get the link for this. So I'm hosting this today in celebration of my entirely new group container experience, the Path of the Dragon Initiate. We kick off on Monday. Would love to have you with us if you're feeling the call. And yeah, know that by attending today, this is like the first step of the initiation. This is part one of the initiation. If you want to take it deeper, you can join us in this experience. It's going to be 12 weeks long. I'll put a link there in the chat for you guys. And yeah, I will give you guys a bonus for anyone that signs up today for Path of Dragon Initiate. You're also going to get my How to Train Your Dragon Guide course entirely for free. Because as I was sitting with it, I realized that the two are very complementary. And How to Train Your Dragon Guide really, you know, it walks you through the basics of the elementals, and it walks you through the basics of like how to connect with dragons and how to connect with your personal dragon guide. And basically an initiate, we take that and we run with it and we go deep. So yeah, if you want both experiences, I would recommend signing up on the call today, on the session today, and you will get both experiences. So let's see what y'all are laying down for us here. Okay, so Marielle says, get in touch with my dragons. Boo says to find myself again and my tribe. Kumo says to step into my power more. Sizzle. And then Poosh says, reigniting the fire inside. And I really want you guys, like, as I read this, as you read them, maybe if you're live, like, sit with the frequency of what people are saying here. Words are just like a vessel. They're just a channel for frequency. And so I'm really trying to feel into the energy of these intentions. And hopefully what we're going to do today in this activation is expand the energy of those intentions and plant seeds in the physical world so they can actually manifest tangibly, physically. So Adriana says, I would like to connect and hear my dragon messages. Beautiful, beautiful. Katie says to feel it out, get a sense of what the path of the dragon initiate will be like. Love it, love it. Tim says being my authentic self. Absolutely love that. Yeah, authenticity, huge. This is the new, authenticity is the new love in the spiritual community, okay? It's like we thought for the longest time, right, that love was the highest vibrating, I can't even talk because it's so high vibe. Love was the highest vibrating frequency. But actually it's authenticity. It's like 4 times as powerful, 4 times as high vibe as love. Very interesting stuff. So I love that, being your authentic self. And certainly that's what we're going to activate today. That's what dragons are all about. They're so very, very, very authentic. And likely if you're here, if you're a dragon soul, if you're a dragon mage, you know this because maybe it's really hard for you to not be authentic. And maybe by not being authentic or by being authentic, it's triggering to other people. Has anyone ever experienced this where like, you know, you're coming from a place of love, actually, you're coming from a place of authenticity, and yet you just keep setting other people off and they keep misinterpreting maybe what you say, they get pissed off. That is dragon energy. That is dragon energy. Dragons are just by nature very, very triggering because they hold a very high vibrational frequency, and they're not going to like necessarily lower their frequency for you. And that's what we do. If we're, you know, a dragon mage, if we're a dragon soul, we got that dragon energy, whether we're conscious of it or not, we're holding that frequency. We're inviting others to come up to that frequency. And if they don't want to, then they're going to get really annoyed. They're going to get really annoyed. Yes, Christian gearing up for Monday. Yeah, Christian already joined us in Path of the Dragon Initiate. Excited to co-create. I am still burning. Same. Also in Path of the Dragon Initiate. Really looking forward to co-creating with you guys. Feel into the rising dragon energy. Poosh says connecting more with my dragon. Maybe, yes. Ooh, we got 44 people today. Yay, we got 44 people right now. Very powerful number of stability, 4 master number. Okay, Joe says synchronicity aligning with the higher good in realms. Leah says to find myself in my voice. Beautiful. Place your hand on your heart when you listen into, you feel into these intentions. Yeah. Integrate, says Mitchell, and balance my male and female polarities as well as strengthen my self-confidence. Sizzle. Who says empowering? Yes. Hell yeah, it is. Boo just got goosebumps. Yes, that's what I like to hear. You got some dragon bumps. Kamek says activating my dragon energy and dragon mage energy. I've officially left survival mode. Snaps for that. I know that in 1 to 2 years, I will manifest the wealth I need to build my dream life, plus make the world better. Boom. Yeah, and a question, Kamix, I'll let you sit with it. It's rhetorical, but the dragons want you to sit with this. What if it could happen like now? Like, what if it wasn't in 1 to 2 years? What if it was now? How would that feel? Ask yourself that. Sit with that. Jason Rutberg, also in Path of the Dragon Initiate, joining us today, says, get in touch with my soul. Allow and substitute control for higher wisdom. I like that. Sizzle. Liza says, connecting deeper with my dragon, fair weather, and strengthening my intuition. Yes, that's a very important aspect of dragon energies, connecting with and trusting your intuition, okay? So that leads me into another tangent here is, I'm curious if you guys have also experienced this. Like, once you have your spiritual awakening, right, you question your sanity a lot, right? Are you with me? Are you with me? Just me? You question your sanity. You feel like you're going absolutely crazy. However, I would say we're reaching a point, at least I'm reaching a point, and I've noticed this with a lot of the people around me, where that's no longer the case. And that's kind of what the dragons are inviting us to do, is to just trust now, to trust that it's all valid and it's all real, and to stop questioning the sanity. Because questioning the sanity, that has, it plays its part. It helps to keep us grounded when we're initially bridging out of the 3D into the 5D. But at a certain point, it starts to be like shackles that keep us stuck in the 3D and prevents us from creating our dream reality. And that's the point the dragons are telling me that we've all collectively reached. If you are here, you have reached this point, and you're being asked to just like take the scary leaps of faith, trust your intuition, no matter how crazy it feels, how crazy it looks to others, how little evidence you might have in the 3D world right now. And when you just have that, like, that unadulterated confidence in yourself and your intuition and your experiences, boom, that's when everything starts to change. That's when everything shifts. Okay, yeah, Adriana is saying, can you please explain more about the program, Path of the Dragon Initiate? Yeah, I can answer this real quick right now, and then if you have more questions, you can let me know at the end in the Q&A. So you're wondering, how does it work? Is one single group, or would there be more group meetings? How big are the groups? What or how is actually looking like the program? So I would recommend going to the page that I linked. And there's also links like on my website, ownyourpowers.com, and basically all over my YouTube at this point. And on that page, it lays out basically everything we do. So it's 12 weeks long, and it's a single group led by myself. Right now, I think we have like 5 or 6 people aside from myself in the group, and I expect more will join before the doors close on Monday. And basically, we're meeting every single week, and you can think of this like a very special attunement, just like how you get attuned to different levels of Reiki. If you're familiar with Reiki and like different Reiki attunements, that's what the dragons said this experience is. But instead of getting attuned to like Reiki, you're getting attuned to different elemental frequencies. So we work with all 9 of the different dragon elemental frequencies, which are fire, water, air, earth, light, darkness, ether, chaos, and storm. And then we also work with the golden dragons and a little bit with the personal dragon guides as well. So you're starting to attune to these energies in a powerful group mastermind sort of container. And I would say the groups, yeah, they tend to be somewhat intimate. I would say usually like 20 people or less for the groups that I host. Very powerful experience. And I think we're going to be ending probably around end of July or something like that. So hopefully that answers your questions, but that's, yeah, a little bit about what we're doing. So we're like taking that energy, we're taking that attunement, that elemental energy, that dragon energy, and we're literally applying it to our lives. So I highly recommend, if you feel called to join Initiate, if you join us in Initiate, join with a strong intention, with a strong goal in mind. And then everything we do in Initiate, you can apply it to that goal. Okay. And the cool thing about this too is you can go through it as many times as you want. After the live is done, the recordings will be available in like indefinitely. And you can then apply all of the teachings to basically any goal that you wish to achieve. So the sky is really the limit with what your particular goal is. The unifying factor here is that we're going to work with the dragons to do it, and we're going to attune to elemental energies. And it's a really fun time. Like we learn weather magic, for example. I activate your light language, and also the light dragons activate your light language. We learn how to read the Akashic records. It's a really fun time. So yeah, if you feel called to it, there's going to be more on that page I linked above. All right, so let's read some more intentions, and then I think we'll go into like the teaching portion of this, and then I think from there we'll just go straight into that activation. All right, so Crystal Fox says, intention is to get out of my own way. I like that. Yeah, the dragons like that too. Cool. So when I was talking about, yeah, like, do you trigger people? Yes. A lot of people are like, yes. Mataya's like, yeah, damn, they go lunatic. Yeah, totally, totally. Eliza says, are INFJ personalities connected to the dragons? I think so. I think so, because I myself am an INFJ, and I actually polled my audience before, and like 50% of my audience are also INFJs. So I definitely think there's some sort of link there. What's funny too is if you do the 16 personalities like quiz, the Myers-Briggs quiz on the 16 personalities website, they have these little like character icons that represent each personality. The INFJ personality is represented by a wizard. And what are we doing today? We're talking about being a dragon mage, right? So I do think there might be a connection there. Phoenix says, feel into the energy of the path of the dragon initiate, reignite the fire in me, connect deeper with dragon energy is their intention. Sizzle. Oh, I feel that. That feels very powerful, very fiery. Omkra says, authentic, see the unseen, know my future, my objectives, ultra clear and black. That feels very like, very fluid. That one feels fluid to me. Can you guys feel this energy? Is it just me? Like, I really feel the intentions very tangibly. The energy becomes more and more tangible to me the more I do this work. It's hard to put into words, but you just feel it. Yeah, you just feel it. Susie says, I'm asking for healing, clarity, and direction. Don't ask, Susie. Don't ask. The dragons don't ask. They don't beg. They claim. They embody. So become that and know that it's so. You don't have to ask for it. You don't have to beg for it. You choose it, and it is so. And it is that simple. Cool. And Susie also wants to meet her dragon. Recently had a spiritual guide tell me I have a dragon. I want to invite in its support. Boom. Perfect. You're in the right place. Karen says, been watching you from the start, and I'm so proud of you for being so brave before anyone was really talking about the dragons. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, like when I first started talking about the dragons, it was like 5 years ago or so. There was like no one else talking about this, and I literally did feel a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie, but like before I channeled them for the first time, before I posted that TikTok video, I had so much resistance come up. I was like, dragons aren't real. They're fantasy creatures. They're like fictional creatures. Like, why do I feel like I need to talk about this? Why do I feel that they're real? And I literally had these like past life feelings of like being burnt at the stake. I literally thought on some level, even though it didn't make sense to my logical mind, because I knew that wasn't actually going to happen in this modern world, I felt like I was going to be burnt at the stake for channeling real dragons and asserting that dragons might actually be real and not fictional after all. So it was very scary. And that was like one of my first official dragon trials given to me by the dragons. But when I put that video out, this was the cool thing. When I put that video out, it went viral. It went very, very, very viral. And that was such a validating experience for me. I was like, holy shit, there actually is something to this. I'm not the only one that like has been having these experiences. And this is the lesson that I kind of feel called to share with you all here. It's like, I saw that so many people had these experiences with dragons, and yet they weren't talking about it for the same reasons as me, right? Like they're questioning their sanity. They're like, no one talks about dragons. This is not real. I'm going crazy. They just needed someone to go first and to validate that, right? And so in that situation, I went first and I validated that for so many others, and they validated it for me by like responding to me like, oh my gosh, this is exactly how I felt. And so that's the message the dragons want you to know. As a dragon mage, as a dragon soul, sometimes you gotta go first. That's what the wings are for, they say. You know, you take the scary leap of faith, you jump off the cliff, and you realize that you had wings all along. So there's nothing to be afraid of because you can just fly, right? And you can also breathe fire, and you can torch any obstacles. You can alchemize any obstacles within your way. So thank you, Karen. Thank you for that support and for sharing that, because that led to, this little teaching that was totally unexpected. Adriana says, yes, definitely feel crazy. And I know people around me look at me weird, but I don't really care anymore. Boom. Yeah, that's what we like. That's the energy that we like. Villain era. Own it. Dragons have been villainized for centuries. they don't really care either. They don't give any fucks. Susie says, I question how to integrate the mystical with the 3D world. That's like, yeah, you might be a good candidate for Path of the Dragon Initiate then, Susie, because that's like quite literally what this experience is all about. It's like taking the mystical, magical, like dragon magic stuff, but like anchoring it in, plugging it in, grounding it into the 3D. Cool. Yeah, definitely people feeling insane. Lots of people feeling insane. Totally. It's part of the process. It's part of the process. If anyone is struggling with this mantra is what helped me get through it. And it is the following. Just sit with the energy of this, yeah? If being crazy is this much fun, why would I ever want to be sane? Sit with that, yeah? And basically what that means is I looked around and like the people that would give me the funny looks or judge me or think that I was crazy and stuff, they were miserable. They were miserable. Meanwhile, like the more I connected with these dragon energies, the more, I started channeling and activating my psychic gifts. I was having a blast with life. I was having a good time. I was like, I don't think this is wrong. Like, even if I die and I realize it was all fake and I made it all up as a coping mechanism or whatever, I would rather have fun in the present moment while alive than just live like this absolutely miserable life, right? Hammock says Path of Dragon Initiate closes the 1st of May. We kick off this Monday. So it closes actually like this Sunday. And that's why I'm hosting this now, because this is like the final window, like the final 48 hours or so to join. And so our first session is this Monday, April 27th. Okay, yeah, Camix is INFP. Yeah, I notice a lot of INFPs in my audience, INTJs, ENFPs, ENFJs. Yeah, lots of the N types, I would say, because N in Myers-Briggs, that stands for intuition. So those are people that already have like, yeah, really strong innate intuition usually. Cool. We got some INFJs in the chats. Love it. Cool. Saray says, Hannah, do you believe in fairies? I do. The guardians of the garden. Hell yeah. We just worked with fairies actually for the very first time last month in my private community and mystery school, the House of the Spirit Dragon. First time working with them. It was an absolute blast. It was a memorable experience. So yes, I definitely do. I think I might have even done like a short video on YouTube and TikTok about the fairies after that. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Be more playful, less serious. Yeah. That's super dragon energy. Yeah. I'm still burning. Why so serious? Exactly. It's the Joker. Why so serious? Why so serious? Oh, Eliza, this is a great question. Okay, I'm going to answer it and then I'm going to focus Fox myself and focus on teaching. But yeah, I don't want to wait till the end of the session because it's so interesting. I was thinking about this very thing lately. So Eliza's question is, are dinosaurs dragons? And that's so interesting because a lot of people have talked about this and have like hypothesized such. And I recently got a download on this like the other week. I don't think dinosaurs are dragons. From what they tell me, totally different things. Like dinosaurs are like a more animalistic version. Dragons, like real dragons, are very, very conscious, very, very wise, very, very sovereign. And dinosaurs, as they told me, they're more like just animals, like pets. Like honestly, no offense meant to dinosaurs, but their brains literally weren't like big enough to, yeah, have the complex thought processes of like a dragon. But yeah, so there is like I think there's some like dragon DNA that dinosaurs have. Like there's a little tiny bit of dragon DNA in dinosaurs. So in like form, they can kind of represent, the dragon, but they're not dragons. That's, at least that's what I received in the past week or so. And I was like, oh, that's very interesting. And the dragons are like, yeah, don't mix it up. The dinosaurs are like our dumb but lovable cousins. Woohoo, Kara, congrats. Just signed up for a Path of the Dragon Initiate. We are so excited to have you with us. And yeah, you will get the How to Train Your Dragon Guide course as well for free. So yeah, we'll give you access to that after the live concludes. But congrats, and feel free to share with us in the chat what your intention for the next 12 weeks is. So now you've owned your intention for this live. What's your intention then for our 12-week long journey? Wazzy said, as a kid, I thought dragons were extinct, just like dinosaurs. Can't remember when I learned they're mythical. Yeah. In a way, they are extinct, like in a way. But it's really like they just went into hiding. They shifted their frequency so high so that like people in the lower densities can't actually see them or perceive of them, but they're still there. And they will come back. And I think this is going to be something that happens, in our lifetimes. I'm just going to go out there on a limb and say that, as maybe crazy as that sounds to some people. I think we will see like physical, tangible dragons in our lifetimes if we've signed up for the ascension process. If we're going to the 5D and the 6D and the 7D and beyond, that's where they exist, and they're welcoming us with open arms, as is the whole elemental kingdom, including, we mentioned earlier, fairies, for example. All the elementals are so excited to, welcome us back to the family and to that higher level of consciousness. Cool. Winnie says, yes, I'm signing up for the Path of the Dragon Initiate. Hell yeah, love to hear that. Been told that some of us are dragon incarnate, meaning our soul essence is dragon. Exactly. Great to know my authentic self and my dragon sizzle. I love it. Okay, Kamek says, I filled the form for Path of Dragon Initiate. Do I pay now or do I pay after you reviewed my filled form? So if you're just doing Path of the Dragon Initiate, I guess this is a good point to mention too. If you're just doing Path of the Dragon Initiate, that's like the lower tier. That's the group only option. You can just pay and enroll right now. No review necessary. But if you want to get in Path of the Dragon Adept, which is essentially it's Initiate plus also my one-to-one mentorship that I've offered in the past, Dragon Mage, it's both of those together. And so this is for someone that really is committed to getting results and wants like one-to-one personal mentorship at the same time as you're getting that group mentorship. And so for that one, because there's only 2 slots available for that one, there is an application form, and I will need to review that before you pay or whatever. So if you're hoping to get into Adept, then I'll need to review that first. Otherwise, you can just pay and enroll and initiate. Boom. We got another INFJ in the house. Love it. Love it. And Brianna's like, do you mean they will come back in 3D or when Earth is moving to 5D? Yeah, more so when Earth moves to like 5D, which is already underway. It's like already happening. And I literally have seen a dragon, like around the time I had my dragon awakening, after I posted that video where I went on the limb and I channeled dragons and I felt crazy. I saw a physical dragon. It was a very brief experience. It was when I lived in Australia. I saw one very, very briefly. It was crazy, but it was life-changing for me in like believing that this shit's real. This shit's real. So yeah, because they certainly can lower their frequency and come down to the 3D. They just don't do it normally. Boom. Kara's looking to use energy healing to heal animals and their owners and learn animal communication. Yes. Okay. Yeah. You messaged me personally about that. I remember now. Great. You're really going to love our Earth Dragon Week then and Initiates. The Earth Dragon's intimately linked with animal communication. Driana says, I know that some fairies are real in the 3D. Yeah, exactly. Some hide in plain sight. And you see this all the time in fiction, right? There's so much fictional stuff, like fictional worlds about magical, mythical creatures hiding in plain sight, because that's how it actually is. That's how it actually is. There's so much like hidden channeled information in fiction. Christian says, yeah, it's already happening. I'm feeling / seeing them more concretely each day. Boom. I love that, Christian. Yes. Kamek says, can I pay May the 1st? Right now, there's not enough money in my bank account. yes, just reach out to me personally and we can work that out this weekend before it starts. We'll figure something out for you. Alrighty. I think I caught up to the comments. Wow, I can feel the fire. Can you guys feel it? Ryuji can feel it. He felt it so much. Usually for my live sessions, he'll like stay back there the whole time. He had to like get some space. I see over here. He's cooling himself off because he's like, damn, that is hot. That's some hot fire energy we got coming in. We got some fire dragons coming in today. All right, I'm gonna take a drink and then we're gonna dive into our content. Very refreshing, very refreshing. Okay. So let's talk. What is a dragon mage? What is a dragon mage? You can let me know in the comments, actually, since we're live. I want to know what people think because I already gave you the answers. If you've been following my channel, I just did a video on this. So what is a dragon mage? Can you tell me some qualities of a dragon mage? I'll wait for you guys to respond before I go into it and I add onto it. I build upon it. Yeah, Liza says like a dragon witch. Yeah, like someone who uses dragon magic. Totally. Yeah, Mario says a witch that can turn into a dragon. Yeah, totally, totally. Someone that has a dragon form. Anyone else? Anyone else? I can feel the Furies typing. Like people are, I can feel it. I can feel people are like, oh, I gotta type really fast. Answer the question. I'll give you a few more seconds. Eliza says Maleficent. Yeah, my girl. I love Maleficent. Favorite Disney villain because I love that she can turn into a dragon. And she's also got that fairy energy at the same time. Boom. Yeah, Joe. Embodied dragon and non-dragon dragon rider. A+. 5 stars for you, Joe. You were paying attention in my video. I like that. Yes, totally. It's someone that's had both experiences. The experience of being a dragon themselves and of being a dragon rider, someone that works with dragons and has experienced like the full gamut, you could say, of dragon energy from every facet, every angle, every side. Yeah, I am still burning says many different experiences with dragon energy / dragons, strong source connection. Yes. Yes. Boom. Kamix, someone says, someone who does something first so that the path is cleared for those who want to follow the same path. Boom. Yes. So happy you brought that up. That is foundational. That is foundational. And I was going to say that myself if no one brought it up. A dragon mage is someone that is a trailblazer. That's what the fire is for. That's why the dragons have their fire. You know, they clear the path for the others, for the other elementals, which are under their protection and their guidance. And they clear the path even for other dragons and for light workers and humans and stuff. And you have that same energy, the energy of a trailblazer and a cycle breaker. Someone that goes first, that goes into the darkness, that goes into the density, who's not afraid of the dark, you could say, who embraces it, who is a shadow worker as much as a light worker. That is a dragon mage. And in doing that, you clear a path. You clear a path for so many to come behind you. And it's really a great honor. It's a great honor. And it's something that not everyone can do. It's something that is earned over many, many lifetimes. It's not something that can even be earned in a single lifetime. It's something that you get this quality, this ability, after you've proven yourself over many, many lifetimes as someone that can hold such heavy weighted responsibility, because it is heavy, isn't it? Is it heavy? Is it heavy? Give me some rars if you feel that it can be heavy sometimes being a dragon mage, and it's a challenge. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's fucking hard. It's fucking hard. Sometimes to be a dragon mage because it's a lot of density that you got to move through when you're clearing that land and you're blazing that trail quite literally with your fire. And Jason, I like the question. Let's save it for the Q&A at the end, and same goes for any future questions, just so I don't get off on any more tangents, because that's how my ADHD brain will work. I want to focus box myself now. Ryan says dragon mages, those that resonate with dragons and listen to their guidance. Yes. Yeah, and that, of course, that's the other foundational thing. You know, they go first, they're trailblazers, but also that affinity with dragons, as was said earlier, right? Someone that has had lifetimes as a dragon and as a dragon rider and has an affinity with dragon energy. Yeah, Christian says you're a dragon soul with past lives as a dragon, can transform, wise, transmuter, high vibe, here on a mission. Boom. Yes. Hammock says I'm a shapeshifter. Yes. Dragon mages definitely shapeshifters. And after that, it's easier for others to succeed in a role that goes against our current broken system and create the new system. Exactly. It's like breaking the ground. Yes. You've passed many dragon trials if you're a dragon mage. Exactly. Yeah. So many dragon trials, all of the dragon trials. I got some rars. Transmute your frustration at how hard it is through those rars. That's why they want us to use the rars today. Cool. Okay. Yeah, so I would say those are the two biggest defining qualities right now. And so that said, the time has come to step into your dragon mage energy, which is why I was called to offer this offering right now. It was completely out of the blue. I had no idea, actually, like a month ago, that I was going to offer this. It was around this big portal that we had on March 31st that the dragons were like, okay, we want you to offer this Path of the Dragon Initiate experience because it's time. No more messing around. No more playing around. It's time. It's time to clear the path for the others. It's time. Who's felt that? Who's felt like you're right on the precipice of something, some big shift, some big change, but you're maybe not quite there, and you're really maybe getting frustrated and angry with your current circumstances because you're like, it's not shifting yet. But I feel that it's like I'm so close. I can like taste the shift almost, but I'm still not quite there. Who's feeling that energy? Yeah, Nintendo Spirit says yes, very much so. Yeah, that could be your own dragon energy, your own dragon's fire within you that's ready to just explode. So here's a little interesting tidbit as well. So I was told also by the dragons, especially before talking about this dragon mage stuff and offering initiate, they're like, dragon mages have literally intentionally been held back in life. Dragon mages, I'm repeating that, we've been intentionally held back in life. If you felt like a late bloomer, perhaps, if you've seen like all of your peers, you know, like have all these manifestations and you feel like stuck, even though you're doing like way more energetic work probably than they are, you're doing all the shadow work, making all the hard choices for your highest good, fighting all the demons. It's like you feel like you've been in a holding cell. It's because you have, okay? You literally have. And this was an agreement that your soul made, your higher self made this agreement to hold yourself back until the time was right, until the collective frequency was a match for the high frequency you hold. So that time, I'm happy to announce, is right now. It's happened. That portal that happened March 31st, April 1st, 2026, it's done. It's time now. So now if you're not seeing the results, know that you're the only one holding yourself back now, like really actually. And it's time. That's what we're going to walk each other through in Path of the Dragon Initiate. We're going to walk each other through, like finally releasing these shackles, because there is a little bit of a kickback. It's like we're so used to being shackled we're still like not fully in belief that they're off yet. Does anyone relate to that? I'm just getting this funny imagery of a dragon that has been like chained up, like a Game of Thrones dragon. Like if you watch that, like they chain up two of the dragons at one point, and it's like the dragons, like maybe they've been unshackled, but they're still just standing there as if they're shackled because they're so used to it. They're so used to it. They don't even realize that they can just fly freely again. That's us right now. And that's what Path of the Dragon Initiate is meant to do. It's meant to wake us up and spur us into action. So let's see what y'all are saying to that. Yeah, Leah's like, yeah, that would be me. LOL. Glad to hear it, Leah. Yeah, Boo wants to burn. Yes. Kara said, I yelled at my dragon that I wasn't ready yet a few years ago. Yeah, there you go. Eliza says, about to face a dragon trial at the end of May. I don't know if you know about astrocartography. I'm still figuring it out myself. But long story short, I'm going to be traveling to my Pluto /DC line. I do know about astrocartography. Good luck with that. I've lived in areas with that energy before. Okay, yeah. So people are feeling that feeling of being held back. Cool. Yeah, I feel the resonance in you guys. Feeling the resonance. So would you say that you still feel held back right now? Would you say that you still feel held back right now? Yes or no? And give me a clear answer. They're like, give us, usually dragons also work in like a gray sort of frequency, but for this, they want you to be confident. Yes or no? Do you still feel held back right now? Yes or no? We got a lot of yeses. We got one no, another no. Cool. Very encouraged to move forward. Love it. Yes. Okay. So for those of you that said yes, what's holding you back? And for this, actually, we're just going to do a quick little thing with the pink dragons. So they want to help this answer come to you right now to set you free. They want you to become aware of the shackle. Place your hands on your heart, please. Place your hands on your heart and just start to notice the warmth of your own body, the vibration of your own heart, the feeling of life, force, energy. Just taking a nice deep inhale. Imagine as you do so, you're just receiving this soft baby pink light, this unconditionally loving, gentle, soothing dragon energy. Maybe you even see some pink dragons around you. Maybe you've seen Kuan Yin around you. And you just allow yourself to be supported here, bringing that pink energy into your heart space, into your body, mind, your spirits, letting it flow. Before you exhale, just hold the breath for a moment and start to notice any resistance in your body. Any pain or tension, any intrusive thoughts, any anxiety, notice it. Witness it. Be gentle with it. Because these sensations, they're just messengers letting you know what's holding you back. They're showing you the shackles. Like child throwing a temper tantrum, they just want attention. Sometimes they're going to be loud and nasty to get your attention, but all they want is attention. Give them that attention now. And then when you're ready, you can let out a very cathartic exhale. Let out some dragon's fire. Release that. Let out some dragon's fire. Stick your tongue out. Let it look silly. Imagine you're a dragon breathing fire. Do it for 3 breaths. Inhaling the pink energy. Filling your body, your mind, your spirit with that energy. And then letting go of all the shackles, all the resistance, all that is not a match. Letting it flow back to Mother Earth. And again, inhaling, inhaling, inhaling. Beautiful, beautiful pink energy. From within, from without, from above, from below, from all around. Tuning to that pink, nurturing love. And then breathing out. Breathing it out. Letting go of anything that's not a match to that love. That ease, that flow. Know that it gets to be easy. It gets to be easy. You can maybe even start saying that to yourself a few times. It gets to be easy. Sink into the frequency of each and every syllable, each and every word. It gets to be easy. And with that, we're going to take in one more inhale of the pink dragon energy. Just letting it come in, playing with you, filling you. And this time you become so full of this pink energy. You've now attuned to this pink energy that you can breathe out this pink energy into your environment, into your city, your country, your continent, into the world. Feel, witness, notice as that pink energy just blankets your environment, blankets the world, starts integrating, taking physical form. Notice how you have nothing to fear. You are divine, you are held, you are safe, and you are aligned. And reality is what you make of it. If you choose for it to be easy, it gets to be easy. And so it is. So you can just come back, shake it out, come back, and ask yourself now, if you're someone that said you're still feeling held back, ask yourself, what is holding me back? And share it with us. And know that by sharing it, you are releasing it. You are literally taking that energy out of your body, out of your field, out of this hell loop that you've been in. You're letting it go. And you're giving it to the dragons. You're not giving it to anyone else here, by the way. You're not putting it on anyone. You're not burdening anyone. You're giving it to the dragons, and they're going to alchemize that for you. So feel free to lay it down, lay it out there for us now. What is holding you back? Let it burn. Let it be alchemized now. Boom. And just witness what others say. Witness. Hold space with love. Someone says myself. Someone says fear and grief. Fears based on trauma. I'm not even sure if dragons want to work with me. I will say if you're here, they do. And they're already with you. Joe says perfectionism. Yeah, that one certainly hits hard. Kumo says the The fear of people's perceptions of me. That's a big one too. Boo says sadness, abandonment, loneliness, helplessness, fear, grief. It's a lot. It's a lot of gunk. Yeah, thinking it is not time yet. Ooh, that hits hard, yeah. Kamek says the thing that's holding me back is thinking that I can only manifest my dream in 1 or 2 years rather than right now. Boom, exactly. Yes, exactly. Katie says self-doubts. Kumo says fears of trusting others. Marielle says I got goosebumps now. Yeah, dragon bumps. Boom. That's how we know. We've got it. That's how you know. This is something. This is something. You got it. You got it. Let it go. Let it go. Shining love light. Truth says self-worth. That's a huge one for the collective. Yes. Yes. Fears, insecurities, self-doubt. Did get the chills. Boom. Yeah. Take that as confirmation. Take that as confirmation. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to call in your dragon self here. We're going to call in your dragon self. This is the part where we activate your dragon, as I've been talking about. We're going to call in your dragon self, and we're going to merge with that dragon self. And we're going to start becoming them. And I will say this is the difference between awakening and true initiation. So all of you, if you're here, you have spiritually awakened. Congratulations. You've already begun your awakening journey. And usually what happens when we first wake up and we have our spiritual awakening is we become aware up here, right? We know these things. We are aware. We start learning a lot. Probably you start consuming a lot of information, but it's all up here, isn't it? It's not exactly showing up in your lived experience just yet. That is the difference between awakening and initiation. Initiation is the bridge from awakening into, boom, embodiment. And that's exactly what the dragons want to help you do today. And that's exactly what they want to help you do if you join us in Path of the Dragon Initiate, just over a longer period of time. Boom. And congrats, Katie. Katie joined us in Dragon Initiate. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to share your intention for the next 12 weeks with us. Happy to hold that for you, my friend. Shining love light truth says I'm in tears. I haven't even connected yet. I know it's an air dragon. Boom. Oh, I love that. I love the feeling of knowing, right? You don't need to necessarily, like, knowing isn't even up here. It's not like a mental realm thing, even though we're kind of led to believe it is. That's an embodiment thing. You just feel it, right? Like you feel it with all of you. That's clear cognizance. And that's how dragons like to communicate, by the way. If you've ever experienced communication with dragons, my perception of it, oftentimes they don't prefer words. They prefer just knowing. They just transmit knowing. It's not like usually I'm hearing the voices of my dragons like talking to me as I'm channeling them for you. They just transmit these frequencies of knowing. And then I do my best to translate that into words for you. That's how dragons like to communicate. That's what the initiation is going to bring about for you, is like this embodiment, this lived experience of the knowing. Okay. And so we're going to get that started today. Like that, it's going to start today on this live. Who's ready? Who's ready? Give me a roar if you're ready. Katie's intention for Path of the Dragon Initiate is to connect with my dragon or dragons, to get really clear on my path and purpose, and to do it. Boom. That's what we like to hear. Yes, that's the next step. That's the next step. We'll talk about that towards the end of the live. That's an important part, is taking action. But it's not taking action just to take action, right? That's what the 3D imbalanced, masculine world has taught us, is to take action, keep busy, do, never stop. That's toxic. But action is still important. It's just important to take it from a still place, just like we just did, right? We took a moment to be still and to listen. And then from that place, we answered what's holding us back, right? That was the 1-2 punch of receiving the inspiration, receiving that feminine energy, and then stepping into the masculine physical action component of it. Okay, we got a lot of rars. All right, I love that. Boom. Oh, I felt that. Oh, I felt that like a wave. Rar. Here we go. So now we're going to merge with our dragon energy. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, how this is going to look, but you're going to meet yourself as a dragon, and you're going to merge with that. So let's dive in. If you're ready, let's dive in. So you can close your eyes. Just make sure you're in a comfy place where you're not going to be interrupted, ideally. And just take a second to get grounded. If you want to just stretch it out, get into your body, take a moment to become grounded in your own body. Yet again, just placing a hand on your heart, allowing that to be a portal. Portal back to you. Portal back to source. Portal back to your own dragon energy that is, woo, mad chills, so powerful, so much more powerful than any of you could possibly know. Ooh, this is going to be good. This is going to be the good, the dragons say. Like, they've been holding all the good stuff back from you. They've been waiting for the big reveal. And that's going to start to trickle in from this moment forward. So you start to embody your own dragon energy more and more. So the first step of the process, they say, is to clear the portal. The heart space has become tainted. And this is not something you need to beat yourself up over. This is a part of the plan. And this is normal for every human. Every single human has experienced this. Even Jesus, even Kuan Yin, even the Buddha, all the ascended masters had to go through this process of clearing the portal that is their heart. And so the ascended masters will also be with us today as we clear these portals. So imagine now you're taking a very grounding, centering inhale in, filling every fiber of your body, of your being, with golden source lights. And then exhaling, really just anchoring into that. Imagining the source lights takes on a life of its own. It expands downward from the bottoms of your feet, becoming energetic tree roots that go down into the earth, down through the many layers of soil and sediments, down deeper and deeper into Earth's core, where a crystal awaits. Giant crystal. Notice this crystal. Notice the color. Notice the frequency of it, how it feels, how it tastes energetically to connect with the crystal. And know that this crystal, however it's manifesting for you, whatever color, whatever frequency, it's giving you just a little taste of your own dragon energy. So if you're ready to connect with that and to start opening yourself to that, you can imagine now you're wrapping your energetic tree roots around the crystal, really anchoring in now officially. Just surrender to that. Let yourself be here for a moment. Taking in another deep, deep, deep guttural inhale of the golden source light. Feel how it's being fed to you now by the ascended masters and by the dragons. Oh, they love you so deeply. They're so proud of you. They want you to be proud of yourself. They want you to appreciate yourself, to see yourself. You don't give yourself enough credit. Just receive that love and that pride that they have for you. Feel the golden energy expanding, expanding, expanding. It goes into every cell in your body, every strand of DNA, dissolving, dissolving, dissolving darkness, heaviness, resistance in authentic energy. And again, exhaling, but this time you can imagine you're just offloading any of your doubts, any of your fears, your guilt, your shame, any pain that you feel in your body right now. A lot of people experiencing a lot of ascension symptoms, a lot of pain right now. Let it go. You are encouraged to make a sound, even if you feel perhaps self-conscious of doing that. It's okay if it sounds a little funny, a little weird. Let it out. They say let it out. As you let the sound out, you're letting that density out in a very tangible way. Let it out. You don't need to carry this anymore. The shackles, they're already off. They're already off. Your new life, your highest timeline, it's waiting for you. Your dragons, they're waiting for you. The elemental kingdom at large is waiting for you. You cannot wait to party with you. But you got to set yourself free first. Take in another deep, deep inhale. Imagine this golden energy becoming so big and expansive now. It like massages your whole aura, your whole auric field, your whole chakra system. Just purging, dissolving, alchemizing any impurities, anything that's still not meant for you that has been held on to, no matter how subconsciously. You don't need to see it all to let it go. You just need to make the conscious choice to do so. And it's done. Exhaling. Just one final cathartic exhale, letting that all return to Mother Earth now. Know that she's in on this too. Pachamama, Mother Gaia, Mother Earth. She's got your back. As a dragon soul, as a dragon mage, you have a very intimate bond with her, with the grid, which is her body and her chakra system. And so now as you've anchored into that crystal, you've connected with her as well as your own dragon energy, and you are now exchanging codes with each other, communicating. And it's okay if you don't receive anything tangible here, if you don't notice anything, that's okay. If you're trying to make sense of it, you're still in the mental realm. Just let yourself be. Let yourself be. Let yourself be in the lived experience here. Knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be. At this time, things are playing out for you exactly as they're meant to at this time. You are so held. You are so safe, so invincible. Like, you can't see it, they say, but yeah, you get so scared sometimes, so in that survival mode, but you can't actually fail here. It's all divinely orchestrated. And as you step out of your human shell and you step into your dragon self, you start to see that and to feel that. You can see the higher perspective. You feel yourself now on your next inhale being lifted into your light body out of your physical body. You can imagine on the exhale that you're just gently pressing down on the top of your head, pushing down gently and with love, of course, on your physical body to separate the two, rising fully into your light body now. You are light. You are free. You are unlimited. You are that you are that you are. And here now, you are invited, now that you are in your light body. Literally, your own consciousness is the only limit. You are now being invited to take your dragon form, to undergo a transformation process. A magical girl transformation is literally what I'm seeing, if you're familiar with anime. Undergoing a transformation process here, and I will do some light language to assist. And once the light language has concluded, so too will have your transformation process, and you will be in your dragon form, in your sovereign form. Here we go. Asenana, 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 asianatana, asinanaha, asinanaha, asya, ayananaya, aya, aya, atane asana ai, atane asana ai, atane asana ai, 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 aea, aea, aea. Muesu, Yesu, Yesu. Muesi, muesi, muesi. Asea u, asea u. Eta, eta, eta. Muyasi. Matia. Masea. Mase, mase, mase. Aye. The transformation slowly concludes, and you feel the full power of your dragon form. Wow. Spread your wings. You're not spreading them far enough. Spread them wide. Spread them as far as they would go. Spread your arms, your legs. Feel the scales, the magic flowing through your veins. Feel the muscles the power, the raw power. Feel the dragon's fire within your guts. Your fire, your alchemy, always at the ready. And just, I invite you in your human physical form to just spread your arms wide for a moment and surrender to this. Float here in this for a moment. Great gratitude. You've earned this. You've come such a long way. You've earned this. It's been a challenge. It's been a rough road at times. It's been heavy. But here you are. Anyways, you're a trooper, a fighter, a warrior, but also a lover, a healer, an adventurer, a revolutionary. Your initiation begins today. It begins right now. So the Dragon Collective flies around you now in a spiral, and they all bathe you in dragon's fire. This is an initiating dragon's fire. I'd say it's a baptism by fire of sorts, an anointing by fire. But you may notice, for some, the fire may be typical hot fire, but for others, you might notice a soothing, coolness. It will manifest differently for everyone. Just notice now how it's appearing for you, how it's manifesting for you, and just let yourself receive. Know you're so worthy. It is no accident that you decided to come to this live stream, whether live or watching the recording. There are no accidents, no coincidences, only aligned agreements. And now the dragons around you slow their flights. They retreats. The fire dissipates. And you are reborn. You are a new, higher you. Congratulations. And of course, they say, we're not going to just leave it there. They want you to just play now. Play. We'll give you a few moments in silence to just play. Explore. What's it like being in dragon form? Maybe you can travel between dimensions, worlds, realities at will. Maybe you just go sort of light body traveling across planet Earth. Maybe you go to places you know in your human life as a dragon and see it from a different, higher, more empowered perspective. But feel free to explore now. Go where your heart's calling you to go and just play. Play with it. And maybe you're not alone. Maybe some of the other souls on this live join you. Maybe your own guides join you. Maybe some of the dragons from the collective that just anointed us join you. Just let yourself play and know that you're not alone. You're never alone. You are so loved, so held, so aligned, and you've earned this. You've more than earned this. Let yourself have it. So, a few moments of play starting now. So starting to wrap up your journey. And know that if you're hesitant to do so, you are always welcome to come back to this place, this space, this form. Just taking in a nice deep breath, nice inhale of these energies. And know that we're not done just yet. So now, before we fully come back and we share and we integrate our experiences, you are being invited to hone in now on your ideal timeline. The timeline that you have in your sights right now, whether, let's say, there's a place you'd like to live, a relationship you'd like to be in, an income you'd like to have, a project you'd like to complete, whatever it is for you, know that in this dragon form, it is easy for you to go to that timeline. And so on the count of 3, you're going to go to that timeline in your dragon form. And you're going to observe your human self, your human form, from your dragon higher perspective. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Entering this higher timeline. And just notice, ground yourself in the scene. What is human you doing right now in this scene? Ground it in a scene specifically that represents what you want to experience in your life. And now you are going to fly as your dragon into your human self, merging the two. You are now going to merge your dragon self with this version of your human self. 1, 2, 3. Merging now if you haven't already. So now you're in the first person perspective in the scene of the higher timeline. And to take it even further, we're going to anchor it in. We're going to make it real, tangible through our senses. So notice first just what you're hearing here. And then what you're touching, tangibly, physically. What can you touch here? How does it feel against your fingers? What can you smell? How does it smell in this scene? And what can you see? What does it look like in this scene? What are you noticing? Let it become very vivid, very crisp. And to make this even more tangible, take a bite of something or a sip of something in this vision, manifesting it if there isn't anything within reach, just manifesting something instantly that comes to you. Tasting it, noticing the taste, letting the taste really, really, really ground you in. And know that moving forward, this taste can be an anchor into this timeline, into this version of you that you are now being initiated into. Now, the most important part of all, just take a nice deep breath and inhale in this scene. Let your body open up, expand. Exhale, just like anchoring, grounding into the moment. And notice how it feels energetically and emotionally being here. What does it feel like? You have what you want to have, everything you want to have. It's yours right now. It's not in the future, it's now. How does that feel? Really sink into this. Maybe place your hands on your heart again, allowing that portal to bring it into your lived experience. I'll just give you a moment to revel in this frequency here. Know that you get to have this. In fact, you already have this. If it can be conceived of, it exists. It exists right now, right where you are in this present moment. It is yours. You are it. It is you. Become it. Allow it. Receive it. And take one more deep inhale here. Now, on the count of 3, you will return from this timeline and from your dragon form back to your human form. However, you will be an entirely new you, an upgraded you, integrated both with this human version of you from this higher timeline and this dragon version of you, this sovereign higher version of you. All on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom, coming back. Maybe just shaking it out to really ground back into the body. I always like to yawn, to stretch, shake it out, maybe take a drink of something if you've got it around. Come back to your body. And so there's one other thing before we start integrating, sharing our experiences and going into the Q&A. I want you to name this higher timeline version of you. Give them a title, give them a name, and know that that's an anchor for them. And now, this is a little preview of the Chaos Dragon homework that we have in Path of the Dragon Initiate when we work with the Chaos Dragons towards the end of the experience. You are now going to do a sort of method acting with this version of you. So a method actor is someone who they get into character for like a role that they're playing in the movie, but they never leave character. Even when the scene's over, they never leave character. So now for you, for let's just say the weekend until Path of the Dragon Initiate begins, just the next 3 days, in every moment that you can think of it, ask yourself, what would this version of me, whatever you named them, be thinking right now in this situation? What would this version of me do in this situation? What action might they take right now? Start to ask this and let them answer. Then, important, right? Take action in alignment with what they have for you. And know that by doing this, you're already becoming them. Like you are really, really quickly quantum leaping into that version of yourself. This is embodiment. This is how you emerge from the initiation into this new version of you through embodiment, through aligned, inspired action. And so if you wish, you can call on this dragon version of yourself for support with this. You can also call on the Chaos Dragons because this is what they're good at. And like I said, we'll do more work with them and with this in the Path of the Dragon Initiate. And so know there's always plenty of support available to you. You need only ask. And so just take a moment to honor yourself and to honor each and every soul that has joined us today, again, whether live or just via the recording. Sending your love and your support and your dragon's fire. Know that we are a team, even if we are all in different places across the globe, we are a team. We walk parallel paths. We're in this together. Just let yourself be supported in that right now, in this moment, and to support others. And now, as we start to come back, yeah, you can, a lot of me know in the chat how that was for you. If there's like a takeaway, I always recommend for the integration, if you can just summarize like in a few sentences, your biggest takeaway from that experience, the biggest revelation, and share it. Because as you share it, you make it more real and you help others to have similar revelations and to wake up. Share it for our collective integration. What do you got? And I'll put another link here to Dragon Initiate if you are feeling the call after that to join us. There it is. It's there now. And again, just a reminder, if you enroll in Path of the Dragon Initiate on this live, you will also get How to Train Your Dragon Guide entirely for free, which I think is a very complimentary experience. It's like an appetizer for what we will be doing in Path of the Dragon Initiate. Yeah. Okay, so Kamek says, living my best life in the best world. That sounds amazing. Saskia says, time to choose me. Yes, yes, love that, Saskia. Kara says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Thank you, Hannah. You're so welcome, Kara. And thank you for choosing you and choosing Path of the Dragon Initiate. So excited to co-create with you there. And Joe says, I am a cosmic dragon. Ooh, that sounds powerful, magical. Boo says, I am worthy of what I want and deserve. Damn right. Damn right you are. Queer says, I was flying and playing totally free, and I had a moment of like, oh, of course I'm already totally free. Yes, yes, that's exactly it. Yes. Marielle says, I am an animal communicator and healer. Thank you. Yes, I love that. I love that for you. Hammock says, I can just take my best timeline and just glue it into the current timeline, so I enter my best timeline now. Exactly. It doesn't have to be in the future. And know that, too, this is a huge part of the lesson right now, is like, in the past, we're so programmed, right, that things have to take a long time. And this is what we've experienced up until now. This is what we've had evidence of. But we've just shifted into an entirely new reality. We've already started shifting into the new earth. It was a very tangible shift that happened on the 31st of March, 1st of April. We're there. Things don't have to take forever anymore. They don't have to take long. They can happen very, very quick, instantaneously in some cases. You just have to have that audacity, if you will, to claim it in the now and be like, damn it, I get to have it now. And know that it literally isn't even just like a hope or like an analogy or just pretty words. Maybe you experienced in this meditation like what it is like to have the things that you want right now. Because it all comes down to a feeling, right? When we want external things, really we're just seeking a feeling that we think those external things are going to give us. So what you can do is you can give yourself the feeling right now, no matter what's happening. Then the external thing starts to manifest. And now it's going to manifest much more quickly than it would have in the past. Fairy from the Stars says, I got a big hug and a message that I have resistance to a desire when I want it too bad. Yeah, no apologies for your English. It's great. And yeah, that's a powerful revelation. It's exactly that. When we like put too much control, too much expectation, too much desire around something, we stifle it. We actually keep ourselves from it, because how law of attraction works, how reality works, you got to be in the frequency of what you want, not the frequency of wanting what you want in order to manifest it. Yeah. Christian says, takeaway, I am already aligning with my higher timeline. Boom. Yes. Yes. That's exactly right. Kumo says, I am free and I am powerful. I have an important role to play. I can have what I desire now. Yes, it does get to be easy. Yes. Boom. Yeah, I am still burning says that everything is working out. Now is finally now. Exactly. No more carrot on the stick nonsense. Now. I love that, Eliza. DMFA, Dragon Master of the Fine Arts. Yes, I got the sense that Pluto is a draconic planet. 1,000,000%. Yeah, it's such a draconic planet. Yes, because Pluto is about oftentimes like death and destruction. Also, like in science, they gaslit Pluto as a planet, and they're like, yo, Pluto isn't even a planet anymore, just like they've gaslit dragons, right, in the existence of dragons. Yeah, so you're totally on point with that. Adriana says, I'm a black and violet dragon. I've never seen a dragon like this with someone hair, feathers, purple, violet on my back. I have a beautiful stone amethyst, labradorite, like on my third eye. Woo, it sounds so pretty. I love it. Big black wings with purple strokes, golden strings. Amazing. I love that. Katie says, amazing. I shook off the shackles of being afraid of my own power. Boom. Love it, Katie. Own it. Then I created my best life in Southeast Asia with friends, divine partner, and aligned spiritual activities. Yeah, I feel it, girl. I feel it. It's here. It's here in the now. And we're going to take the first steps towards that in Path of the Dragon Initiate together, aren't we? Adriana says, and when all the dragons were with me after I changed myself, I saw the violet flame. Love the violet flame. Very powerful. Yeah. Yeah, Fairy from the Stars also saw the violet flame. Yeah, very much a dragon energy with the violet flame too. Very powerful frequency. Love it. Okay, Kamix took first action in my higher timeline. Cool. That's amazing. Yeah. So you're gonna get a dog from a breeder. That's amazing. I say for the dragon's name, boss, as in the boss. I love that. Oh, I love that so much. I really love the word boss for whatever reason. I love being a boss. Okay, so we got some questions. Omkra says, can you keep the extension of the offer for longer? I did see blue specs. You mean the offer for getting How to Train Your Dragon Guide for free with Path of the Dragon Initiate? Perhaps I could. I would say reach out to me, and we'll see what we can do with that. Just let me know your situation. We'll see what we can do. Adriana, I love the question that you asked here. This is an amazing question, foundational question. Thank you for asking. How do I know it's not just my imagination? Such a great question. And the answer to that is, why gaslight your own imagination? We're all brainwashed, conditioned to believe, oh, the imagination, it's just my imagination, right? We all say this. It's just, was it just my imagination? Just my imagination? As if your imagination wasn't the most powerful fucking thing in the world. Your imagination is what creates reality. It literally is your reality creation vehicle, your imagination. So yeah, it is probably your imagination, but it's not just your imagination. Your imagination is how you create reality. And the false matrix reality we live in tells us, oh, it's just your imagination. It's always just going to be your imagination. It's just going to be up here. And so we block ourselves from the full physical manifestation because we ourselves don't believe it, and we keep it up here in the etheric. If you are able to have the gall and the audacity to be that crazy person that believes in your imagination, in your dream, in your vision, to be a little delulu, even when you're not seeing the results, you will see it into fruition. You will see it. It will become. So I would give that to you as a little challenge. Like, just try to see what happens. If you let yourself just be a little imaginative, do a little experiment and see what manifests. Kamix, do I reach to you via email about the Dragon Initiate? Yes. And my email, by the way, you can just use the contact form on my website. The actual email itself is support@ownyourpowers.com. Support@ownyourpowers.com. You can also just directly email that as well as the contact form. And yeah, I think that said, this is a good time. Let's shift into the Q&A for, like, maybe we got 15, 20 minutes or so. If you have anything you want a little bit of coaching on, if you've got any burning questions, you want to know anything more about Path of the Dragon Initiate, what it means to be a dragon mage, really anything, like, I'm down to answer any questions. We can get a little off the rails here. We can go down some rabbit holes. Always love to do that. So yeah, feel free to lay the questions on me and we're going to answer them. So Supernatural says, what inspired you to step onto the path of the dragon? Where and why did your journey begin? That is like such a deep question, and it's hard to answer because there were so many stages for me. I think the moment that I really surrendered to it and fully stepped onto it consciously and knew that I was doing that was the moment that I talked about at the very beginning of the call. I don't know if you were here. If not, watch the recording, very beginning of the call. When I got this just strong hit, it was around the time I had just started posting on TikTok and, having some viral videos, getting some success on TikTok. And one day I just got the hit so strongly that I needed to channel a message from the dragons. And it was so scary. And I was so like thinking I was crazy for doing this. And there was just so much resistance. I couldn't even begin to tell you and to describe for you what it felt like. But I did it anyways, as one does on the path of the dragon mage, right? I did it anyways. I did the scary thing. And then that video went really viral. It was very validating for me and for everyone else that commented, at least. Like, so many people commented, were like, yes, thank you for talking about this. I thought I was just crazy. And so that for me was a huge activation. But I would say I've been walking the path of the dragon literally my entire life. I just didn't know it until this moment, which was maybe like 5 years ago or so. But my whole life, I've always had an affinity for dragons, and I've walked the path, as it said. Like, I've had so many dragon trials. I literally, a mantra that it's come back to me recently, but I wrote this mantra basically my whole life, and it was literally this: I was born from this hell. This is what I would tell myself. I was just intuitively telling myself this like my whole life. I was born from this hell. And it was literally given to me to say it in the past tense, like as if it already happened, to get me out of it quicker. But literally, it's like I was like born into like this hell experience. It literally felt like hell at times. And that was the dragon trials. And I had to like claw my way out of that, into ascension, step by step by step. So it wasn't necessarily something I was like, yeah, I'm going to work with dragons now. I was kind of pushed into this, honestly. And when I look back at it now, I'm like, when did I start working with the dragons? Like, they pushed me into this. I'm known, kind of as this dragon lady now, this dragon expert now. And it was never a conscious choice. I was never like, oh yeah, I'm going to be the dragon lady. I'm going to be the dragon expert. It just kind of happened. The dragons made me do it. Okay. They just pushed me off the cliff. I didn't have much of a choice. And yeah, it's been my whole life. So that's how I'm going to sum that one up. But thanks for asking. It's a really interesting question. It's got me reflecting on my own journey. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if there's any other questions that y'all have. Driana says, I'm asking because sometimes some mentors are saying you need to see it with your third eye and have no clue if my third eye is open enough. Thank you for your answer regarding the imagination. You literally will open your third eye by just pretending, by seeing it. That's how you open your third eye. My third eye is very open. And I actually had like proof of this quite a few years ago. Shortly after I first got to Berlin, I attended this aura workshop where like pictures of our auras were taken. And the woman that was hosting the workshop used my picture as an example because you could see it over my third eye. There was this triangle of energy on my third eye. And she's like, this is what it looks like to have an open third eye. And I was like, oh, cool. My third eye is open. I never knew if it was or not. I guess it's open. And I would say I reached that point by just being a very imaginative person my whole life and just never letting go of that, always creating. And there's an intimate link. There's an intimate link between creativity, like being someone that, does arts, that is a writer, et cetera, and being psychic. They're very intimately linked. So if you're creating, that's also another way to open your third eye. So Isis says, I saw myself in the paradise that earth will become, my consciousness made of pure light, power, and love, possessing all the power, freedom, and wealth I desire, transmitting light and love to all beings. Whew, I can feel that. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it does feel intense. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Omkar says another thing is finding my journey. That is my desire. Being the boss in my life, even unveiling my routes. Yes. I love that. Being the boss of your own life. Make it real by seeing it. Yes. I am still burning says, yeah, the dragons maybe do it. Wonder if that works in court. Yeah, probably not. hopefully that none of us ever get thrown in court and have to use that in court. But yeah, I'll stick with it as long as I can. Isis says, I cried tears of joy when you started speaking another language. I saw myself as a dragon. Boom. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. So happy to hear it. That's so magical. Alrighty. Yeah, we got another 10 minutes or so. Anyone else have any questions you'd like answered? Happy to answer. And again, I'll post, since we're wrapping up in the next 10 minutes, again, there's a bonus. If you sign up for Path of the Dragon Initiate on this live, you get How to Train Your Dragon Guide for free. And so I'll put a link again to Dragon Initiate for you guys. If you want to check out the page, all the information about Dragon Initiate is on the page, by the way. And yeah, there's lots of good info there. If you still have other questions, you can reach out to me or my VA at support@ownyourpowers.com. We're happy to answer any questions that you have. Before we kick off, we open the doors officially on Monday. I cannot wait. I feel it's going to be exceptionally powerful, exceptionally powerful. Really, really excited. Okay. Liza says, my dragon self is a cloud of pastel rainbows. And what I'm told is clouds are the ultimate shapeshifters. They can change on a dime and even produce multiple weather effects. Totally, totally. There's definitely an association, a link between dragons and clouds. And I did a video on my YouTube, if anyone's interested in that. I did a video on cloud dragons at one point, somewhere there on my channel in the archives. Fairy says, can we ask the dragons for psychic protection? Hell yes, you can. And they encourage you to. This is their favorite thing. This is their favorite thing. This is what they are best at, especially fire dragons, especially the fire dragons. So of course you can. They eat that stuff for breakfast, the dark energies. Okay, so Boo says, I feel I seeded universes with my dragon. That's cool. Have you heard of this before? I actually have. Like nothing surprises me anymore. Now that I've been like doing this work that I have been doing for like the past 5 years, just working with hundreds, maybe even thousands at this point of different clients on the spiritual awakening journey, I have heard and seen a lot of cool stuff. And I have heard that a couple of times. And yeah, totally possible. Like dragons have strong creator energy, and we all have this strong creator energy within us. You can literally create universes. In a way, this is what happens if you create your own fictional world, for example. Like I myself, I'm a writer and I'm creating a video game right now. And it's like in doing that, I've like created a universe. I've created a world, like actually. But also, if you're like a creative person, you might kind of feel that you're at the same time, you're like discovering too. It's this co-creation process. You both create and you discover at the same time. Also did a video about that on my channel. I think it's literally called something like, do we create fictional worlds or discover them? Yeah, but that's a cool concept. Yeah, nice to have you, Ophi, on the live. Yeah, I rarely go live these days, so it's a privilege to get to vibe with you guys. Jason says, how are mage and dragon mage related? Yeah, that's a really great question. So I think they are totally like different things. I think if someone is just like a general mage, there's someone that's just like magical, but they could have like a different specialization. If we want to get really nerdy and be like very D&D about it, very RPG about it, they could have a different specialization. And maybe like we have a fairy person on this live, for example, they could be like a fairy mage and set like specialize more in that. And there's so many different offshoots of mage. So I would say mage is the umbrella, and it's just someone that's very psychic. That's what I would define, someone that's psychic that can use their abilities. And you could also interchange that with, you know, sorcerer, sorceress, witch, wizard, you know, all those things. It's basically the same. But then dragon mage is like an offshoot. It's a specialization. Again, I'm a super nerd if you did not know. And so it's like a specialization of that, the class of mage. So you're a dragon mage and you focus on the dragon energies. And like I said, the dragon energies, they hold just a very sovereign frequency, this energy of the trailblazer, of the light leader. And they also, you know, they hold all the elemental affinities at once. They hold a very nice balance of feminine and masculine energy at once. These are things that characterize the dragon mage specifically, if that answers your question. And you're welcome, fairy. My pleasure. Cool, Dragon. D Dragon says I should have the funds figured out by the 27th. Is it too late to join the initiate program? We are kicking off on the 27th. So yeah, I would say like reach out to me personally with more details if you're feeling called. If you go to the landing page of Path of the Dragon Initiate, there's actually like a countdown timer. So if you don't think you're going to be able to pay before the timer hits 0, let me know. If you think you will be able to pay it, then you don't need to necessarily let me know. Just make sure you're paying for it, you're signing up before the timer goes down. That will let you know, when the doors are officially closed. But we do kick off on Monday it'll be 3 p.m. my time, which is Central European time. And that is in Eastern Standard. It's 9 a.m., I believe. So check your time zone on when we kick off. But yeah, would love to have you with us in that first session. And if someone, you can't make it by the first session, but you're working to get the funds together, let me know and we'll see what we can do for you. If nothing else, maybe you'll just miss the first session live. You can join us the following week. That's totally cool too. Just like I said, communication is key. Just communicate with me. Happy to work things out with you if you're able to communicate that. Adriana says, when are the sessions? Oh my gosh, I love the synchronicity. You said, when are the sessions going to be held? And I already answered it because telepathy, right? Yeah, I mean, do you have specific days, time set? It's always going to be Mondays. So it's going to be for 12 weeks, starting this Monday, always Mondays at that same exact time. And if you can't join us for the live time, let's say you're busy, let's say you're sleeping at that time, you got work or something, the recordings will be available usually within 24 hours. So you'll have plenty of time to catch up. And there is an active community board. And so if you still want, let's say personal advice on something, you need coaching on something, you have a question you want answered, you can tag me in the Dragon Initiate community. And then in the next live, I will address that even if you're not able to attend live. So that's kind of what we've worked out. And how long are the sessions? Probably about 2 hours. Just in general, my group sessions tend to be around 2 hours, give or take a little bit. I don't like to be too rigid with my time frames, but you can expect around 2 hours depending on where the energies take us. And of course, if you had to dip out early, you are always free to do that and then catch up on the recording. Kara just got the dragon bumps. I love it. I love it. Chris says, Hannah, I want to devour my prey, i.e. dark energies. Do it, friend. Do it. Yeah, do it. It's like you eat it and you alchemize it. That's the way of the fire dragon. They eat the dark energies. They love it. It's so tasty to them. And then they alchemize it into a higher frequency. Adriana says, are the Dragon Initiate sessions more like today / meditation activation? Yes. So I would say, what are the sessions like? It's hard to say because this is actually my first time offering it. And I am very spontaneous sometimes. I just follow the energies. But the general format is that I open with teaching on the current topic a little bit. And then we will have likely multiple meditations, like activation journeys, similar to what we had today, where we work with that specific element, whatever element's in focus that day. There's also like a writing exercise, usually for most sessions, that'll be kind of like a ritual aspect, like an anchor, a physical anchor component. And then, yeah, if there's time, usually I open it up for Q&A like I have here today. And the cool thing is, because it'll be on Zoom, you can also just come on live and get some like live coaching from me as well. That's like a gift, I would say. And so if you're not able to afford, for example, like one-to-one coaching or a one-to-one session with me, you can still kind of get some one-to-one attention from me at the end of these group sessions. You're just going to be in front of the group is all, but it'll be a pretty intimate group. Like I said, usually my groups, they don't tend to be more than like 20 people at any given time. Eliza says maybe Pluto lines are dragon lines. That's my new take on the idea. Oh, I like that. I like that. Yeah, maybe I'll connect more deeply with my inner dragon. That would be cool. Yeah, you'll have to report. Let us know how it goes for you. Kumo says, being a shifter myself, I definitely feel a lot more confident with my shifting abilities with my dragon form, considering the link between dragons and reality shifting. Exactly. I love to hear that. Yes, yes, they're master reality shifters. Three people here in the live to confirm that is a divine number of creation. Katie says, can't wait to see your video game. Thank you. I can't wait to share it with you guys. I am hard at work on it, and it's my goal to have like a playable demo at least by the end of the year. Like that's the loose deadline I'm giving myself right now, is to have a demo by the end of the year. We'll see what happens. But of course, the game involves dragons intimately, and dragon souls and dragon elementals. And yeah, I cannot wait to share it with you guys. It's basically like I felt called to create the video game to give people like a bridge into this stuff that might not be like fully conscious, and also people that are fully conscious, to help you embody the teachings. That's what it does, in a fun way, of course, because it's a video game. So it's like you're not just like learning or passively receiving, but when you play a video game, like you become the character, right? And you have an active experience. And it's my intention with the game to like start to give you that experience of basically being a dragon mage in this video game. Chris says omnimage. Oh, I like that. I like that term. Yes. Jason says, were the mages friends with the dragons? Totally. I mean, not every mage, of course, not every mage, but a lot of mages, I would say, had dragon familiars. That's what's coming through right now. Like literally would have their familiar as a dragon. And many mages could even take dragon form. Many mages were also dragon riders. There's a lot of crossover there. Adriana says, would love to see your video. Yes, would love to have you guys play it. It's not going to be an online game necessarily. It'll be firstly available on Steam on the computer, and then I'm probably going to have a Kickstarter at some point. And if I make some money from the Kickstarter, I might expand to consoles as well. Adriana used to play Second Life. That's so cool. And you were riding a dragon in Second Life. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Synchronicity. Yeah, I absolutely love video games because I think they're so meta. They're so meta. Like we are, from my perspective, just living in a video game right now. Ophi says, when I found interesting, even if it might sound weird, I got a colored chicken egg today, and within the paint, I could see multiple dragon eyes. Woo, that's so cool. Egg was green, and I see you're live. Love it. Yes, yes. Welcome. Happy to have you. Doesn't sound weird at all to me. Sounds like, yeah, a day in the life of a dragon mage. Typical dragon mage stuff, right? Love it. Absolutely love it. Can you please repeat the time for Dragon Initiate? It's 3 p.m. my time, so that's Central European time. So if you live in like Central Europe, it's 3 p.m. If you're in like North America, Eastern Standard Time, it's at 9 a.m. It'll be like a morning time period for people in North America. Ooh, interesting question, Julian. Who are the Naga? I get the sense the Naga were like literally like snake people. I don't know much about them like up here, but it's just channeled. It's coming through now. Like snake people. They also, just like the dinosaurs, we talked about them earlier, maybe there's some dragon DNA in there, but they're not necessarily like dragon people themselves, but they have a little bit of that dragon energy because they got the snake energy. So yeah, that's the Naga, and I sense, yeah. I mean, there was all sorts of like different cool like races like this back on Earth at one point, like alien like stuff, right? That we would think only exists in sci-fi movies or fantasy novels or something that existed. And I get the sense, yeah, that the Naga, like, you know, they had a really particular culture. There were some really good ones and really bad ones both. And yeah, they had a lot of wisdom. They had a lot of the dragon mage energy, actually. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, Kara says the ley lines are made by dragons. Yeah, they're literally called dragon lines. I thought that was so cool. I did not know that initially. Liz is going to family member's wedding in Denver, Colorado. Ah, that's where your Pluto line goes through. Cool. Yeah, there's strong dragon energy in Colorado. I felt it. I love Colorado. The mountains. Dragons love mountains. There's tons of dragons in the mountains. Push says, Hannah, I must admit I had to overcome a little resistance when you started the light language. Felt a lot during the meditation. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, glad to hear it, friend. That's good that it brought up some resistance in you. That's a good sign because that resistance, it meant like it was literally being released. It was some resistance being released from you in that moment. That's great. It's meant to be a bit triggering. Phoenix says, I don't have a mind's eye, so I struggle with visualization meditations. Do you have experience with that and or any advice? Yeah, honestly, like I can see stuff, and the more I do this psychic work, the better I can see stuff, but it was never my strongest. More so, I just have like a clear cognizance, like this knowing, which is very boring actually, because it doesn't come with any of the cool stuff. And then after that, it was my clairaudience, my hearing that developed, and then the feeling, and then finally, that like my visuals are getting better and better with time. So my advice would be just start on what the strongest is for you, because everyone will have a clair that's really strong. If you're not sure what might be strong for you, you can take my free quiz. It's called What's Your Psychic Superpower? If you go to my website, ownyourpowers.com, like within 20 seconds of going to the website, a pop-up will come up that prompts you to take that quiz. It's also available on the freebies page. You can take that. It'll help you identify your dominant psychic ability, and that will show you, you know, what comes most naturally. You can focus on that in meditations. And the more you focus on what comes naturally, the more the other ones will start to develop. You don't have to force it. And so, yeah, if you're not a visual person, for the meditations, don't try to force it. I would say don't stress about it, because when you're doing that, you're getting out of actually that psychic channeled mode. You're getting into the ego and the mental realm. So just be kind to yourself and just trust your process and what you're receiving, however that may come to you, even if it's nothing. Because a lot of people, when they start this, it's nothing. It's like black and there's nothing happening. Even that's something. Just sit with that. Don't judge it. Sit with it. If you're doing it consistently, I say developing psychic ability, it's like going to the gym. It's like building up muscle mass. You got to show up consistently to do it. And so that's my biggest advice, is to just show up consistently with meditation, even if it's a few minutes every day. Do it every day. Before you know it, your abilities will come online. Eliza says, what's the connection between knights and dragons? Well, I always really liked knights, and I like chivalry. I feel like there's actually a connection between like dragon energy and knight energy, and it was twisted. It's ironic that there's so many tales like in medieval fantasy and stuff of knights slaying dragons, because I'm getting the sense that actually they have quite a similar frequency, and the like story, the archetype of the knight slaying the dragon actually comes from like the knight not wanting to integrate their own shadow. The dragon represented their own shadow self, and in a way, like they were trying to dominate it rather than integrate it, as a dragon rider might. Like a dragon rider is essentially like a knight that's working with the dragons rather than like resisting the dragons. That's what's coming up. Adriana says, I'm UK, so probably 4 p.m. my time. Yes. Yeah, I think it would be either 2 or 4 p.m. your time. I know UK is like 1 hour ahead or behind of me in Central European time. Double check the time zone converter. Eliza says, is Loch Ness a dragon? Maybe. That's a good question. That's a very good question. A lot of times dragons, they do have domains like lakes, and they'll like live in the lake or something. It's a very good chance of that being a thing. Okay, I'm having fun with you guys. We'll keep this going for a little bit longer, maybe another 5-10 minutes. D Dragon says, I've always been a bard and a priest, but soon I will be a mage and a warrior. My guides have been quite demanding lately. LO. Yeah, that's the path of a dragon mage, right? It's like well-rounded. Yeah, it's well-rounded. It's learning to embody all the different polarities rather than just like specializing in one specific one. So that's great. You're right where you're meant to be. And so Ophi says, I've always felt drawn to the dragons. They are what I am able to draw best. Each is unique. I do see myself not quite in human shape, but not quite fully dragon either, a bit mixed. Super cool. That's a sign maybe of your integration of the two energies. And Julian says, I noticed a lot of churches, temples, mosques, synagogues, and Masonic lodges at ley line intersections, especially in Colorado. That's intentional. That's intentional. Whether people were like conscious of it or not, that was intentional. That was like them following their own intuition on grid work. Oh, hello, Athena. Welcome. Adriana says, clear sentience is my dominant clear, sometimes improper. I do have clear knowing. Cool. In some cases. Randy, welcome. Nice to have you. Thank you for the support. Athena says, I remember seeing dragons, but not here on Earth. It was up somewhere in the cosmos, LOL. They exist everywhere. They exist on like basically every planet. They exist just in the cosmos. They existed and do exist on Earth. They're like omnipresent. That's what's so cool about dragons is like their energy is so primal and ancient. Like they've just always been around. Christian, yes, looking forward to co-creating on Monday. Thanks for joining us today. Sending love and Dragon's Fire. Eliza, another good question. You always have such great questions, Eliza. What's the difference between soul and spirit? I don't think there is a difference. That's just my hit. That's my interpretation of it. Again, it's always semantics, right? It's what it means to you or doesn't mean to you. To me, it's like the same thing. That's how I see it. Chris says, Hannah, tell me about Life Path 7, even as a Dragon's Path, please. Yeah, Life Path 7 is very spiritual life path. Like it's the life path of a mage, basically, of a mage. It's not, I don't have that life path personally, but I do know quite a few people intimately that have that life path. And it's one often of someone that can be a hermit, but is in pursuit of spiritual knowledge and like attuning to the higher realms and like to be even a teacher, but oftentimes it involves like kind of isolating yourself to get the downloads and the hits and figure out who you even are and get healed and establish yourself before you then feel confident to go out and be like, okay, I'm ready to teach now. I'm ready to guide the flock. Makes sense? Cool. Astral, welcome. Thanks for the feedback. Says thank you for all that you share. I watch a lot of your shorts and they're very helpful. Glad to hear that. All right, I think we're going to slowly come to a close. As we have 33 people tuning in. Oh, such a sync number. That's such a dragon number. It really, really is. Any other questions before we go? Any questions at all? And one final time, I will say, Path of the Dragon Initiate, we kick off on Monday. If you want to join us, you got a couple more days to take the leap, to incentivize you today, to celebrate you today. If you've got the courage, you get How to Train Your Dragon guide for free if you sign up for Path of the Dragon Initiate now. You got a few more minutes. You got a few more minutes for that bonus if you want it. And if you've got questions, like I said, and you're on the fence, you're still not sure, reach out to me and my virtual assistant at support@ownyourpowers.com, and we'll help you out. We'll help you figure out if it's for you or not. Astral says, yes, I'm very excited to meet someone else who is into dragons as much as I. Oh, yeah, a lot of someone else's. Like everyone here, I think. Everyone here. We got you. We got you. This is the dragon fam right here. Yeah, I am still burning. Also in Dragon Initiate. Looking forward to co-creating on Monday. It's going to be epic. Julian says, can you discover your dragon through astrology? What do you mean by that? By your dragon? Like your dragon guide or your own dragon self? But I would say, like, I've known some people that have actually reached out to me, and I've read some things. Like there are certain signs that have more of a connection with dragon energy than others in astrology. So what were those signs? Specifically, I think it's like Scorpio and Aries and Leo, which I have very prominent Leo energy, so that makes sense, I guess. I think those three specifically are very, very dragon energy. I'm just getting hit to the Aquarius a bit too. That's got hella air dragon energy, Aquarius. And there is literally something in astrology called like your draconic astrology, like your draconic chart or something like that. If you go on astro.com, you can like look this up, and it's like the chart of your higher self. Yeah, Katie, exactly. I feel like dragons, fairies, angels, and ETs come to us through media to gently nudge us awake. Exactly that. Exactly that. They kind of like plant the seeds for their existence and how things are. So it's kind of there and it has time to percolate. So they're not like bitch slapping us awake. They're just like gently like planting the seeds so we can kind of sit with it, let it percolate a bit before we like evolve into that fully. Chris says Chinese food meal for transmuting energies. Yeah, totally. Astral says I've always believed it's just being around others who don't kind of rubs off, and doing my best to keep going regardless. Much love. Yeah, no, you're not alone, and there's so many of us there. And hey, join us in Path of the Dragon Initiate or House of the Spirit Dragon if you want to co-create, if you want to have like that support with other dragon type people, because now in my world, like, you know, running groups like this, it's so normalized. It's so normalized. So when I'm around people, because like most people actually in my real life aren't dragon people at all, and some people still do think I'm totally crazy, it doesn't even bother me at all. It just glances right off because I'm like, hey, I got my dragon fam. I got my dragon fam, like, and it's big, and it's online. And so that gives me like the support I need also to keep going and to keep believing in myself and to keep my connection with the dragon strong. Eliza says Leo, Sun, Scorpio, Moon. That makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense, doesn't it? Yeah. And Omkra, what is that Japanese or yeah, that it's Japanese, not Chinese. It says, well, it's the dragon, the kanji for dragon. I know that you, like my cat. That's the same kanji I use for my cat's name. You know, and then I can't really read the other one. I'm not the best at kanji. If you want to let us know. Ah, fairy tale. No way. So fairy tale's Japanese name is like dragon. Like I would guess this is monogatari then maybe, which is like a story, like a tale. It's really cool. Liza just had an eye twitch. I love it. Athena, hell yeah, I love the Aragon books. Oh my gosh, so much channeled information in that. Honestly, fun story on that is like when I first read those, I was quite young. I mean, it was like, what, 20 years ago when the first one came out. And I was still so 3D and like not spiritual at all, and so in like the cage of my family's Christian beliefs and stuff. And I remember like scoffing at some of the stuff that came up in the Aragon books in the later ones, because I was like, that's so unrealistic. That's ridiculous. Even for a fantasy novel, I was resisting it. And now I just laugh at myself because I was like, that shit's like real. Like even outside of the fantasy novel, like that's real life. Like there's so much channeled information in those books. It's so good, so good. I actually got the Murtagh book as an audio book on my Audible. Haven't listened to it yet, but I look forward to it because he was always my favorite character. Okay. Yeah, we'd love to have you, Astral. Okay, we got a couple more questions coming in. We're really going to wrap it up now, officially, in the next 5 or 10 minutes. We'll say we won't go past 2.5 hours, okay? I am notorious. If you guys have followed me for a while, I am notorious for Lord of the Rings style lives, as I put them. I just have so much fun with you guys. I never want to get off. And then I have like these lives that end up being like 3.5, 4.5 hours long. Today, I was like, I got really clear guidance. The dragons are like, don't go over 2.5 hours. So I won't go over 2.5 hours, but maybe we'll go right up to 2.5 hours. We'll see. So Adriana says, Hannah, can you please explain to me if the black dragons are black/dark energies? Not at all, because I've seen myself black and purple. Let me show you something. This is my my bracelet. It's a black dragon. Can you see? Normally everywhere black means shadow. Okay, so this is also something we talk about in my one-to-one mentorship Path of the Dragon Mage and Path of the Dragon Initiate, the group experience. And we talk about this when we work with the darkness dragons, who often manifest as black dragons. So just as there is false light, there's also false darkness, but not all darkness is false darkness. That is a clear distinction that needs to be made. So again, another brainwashing that's happened for all of us, a conditioning, is that, oh, darkness is bad, all darkness is bad, and like things that are black, bad. No, there's false darkness, and there's true darkness, and there's false light, and there's true light. So there's good positive darkness and bad negative darkness. And the darkness, oftentimes it's associated with the feminine, actually. Again, feminine gets so demonized in this culture, in this world, right? It's associated with feminine energies. It's so gentle and soft oftentimes. And dark, like black dragons specifically, they're the most protective of all dragons. The color black just has a very protective frequency. You can think of the womb. And if you haven't seen my video on void dragons, I recommend checking that out. It's recent. It was a recent one. And it has a picture of me, like I think my eyes are closed and there's like these two eyes behind me of like this seemingly intimidating like blackish dragon. It's a void dragon. And I channel a very big black void dragon in that, who called himself Voidy, which made it really cute. Yeah, so anyways, needless to say, yeah, I love black dragons. One of the types, like the colors of dragons I've always resonated with the most, actually. And so there's nothing negative about them. I would say just trust your intuition on whether it's like a false darkness or a true darkness for you. So Athena, for Aragon, listened to them on audio so many times, never understood why till recently. Explains how magic works better than anything else I've listened to. Plus, after Awakening, I swear I remember. Exactly, yeah, like it really does. Like it's like it is like the real magic system in those fantasy novels. Boom. Oh my gosh, D Dragon. Funds just came in. Manifestation achieved. Sizzle. That is magic. That is magic. How do I sign up to get into Initiate and Dragon Guide training? Let me give you the linkage again. That is so cool that you manifested it. So you'll also get the bonus. There's the link. I just put it in the chat. And for those of you watching the recording, there will be a link in the description, since there is probably not going to be a chat, I would assume. Alki says, since I was visited by dragons in my dreams, my closest circle has been too. They were so present, but I smoked weed this week and have not been visited as much. Is this a thing? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So congratulations. Likely what happened, friend, is you're getting to the point where weed is actually bringing your vibration down. So this is something, I've never been into weed or really substances. I have a whole, like 2 videos on this. It's called I Died and Went to Hell. If you want to hear about it, my only ever experience with weed. And it was insane. I'm not allowed to do substances is the moral of the story. But Some people, like one of my mentors, like was really into weed, for example, and then he reached a point where he couldn't smoke weed anymore because it actually brought his vibration down. So when you are smoking something, drinking something, eating something, you're literally attuning to the frequency of that thing. So for most people, weed gets them high, quite literally. It attunes them to a higher frequency because it has like a higher frequency than where most people are at. But when you are on this spiritual journey, you'll get to a point where your vibration, your standard vibration, is higher than weed. So weed will actually bring you down. And so that sounds to me, that's just the hit that came through for you. I'll keep reading your comment and, sit with what resonates, if that makes sense for you. Divine Shadow Dragon says, what is the difference between true dragons and draconic beings? Yeah, draconic beings are like a shadow of true dragons. They have a lot of dragon DNA, but still just a fraction of it. Like they have more dragon DNA than dinosaurs, for example, but they're still just like a shadow of actual dragons. And yeah, like they represent, in effect, literally like a shadow of dragons. Like they're a negative manifestation. Not to say not all draconic beings are bad either. It's like just like with anything, there's good and bad in everything. But yes, a lot of them are bad, evil, negative, and they represent that shadow aspect. But yeah, they're very limited compared to true draconic beings. Very, very limited because oftentimes they're operating in these lower frequency energies, these darker, false darkness energies. They're like disconnected from source. So for example, they can't move between dimensions as an actual dragon could do. There's so many differences though. Maybe I'll do a video on it at some point. Cool. Yes. Double D, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Nice to have you. The kanji, says Ankur, says means honor of dragon. It's honor is the second part. Cool. Honor of dragons. I love that. Magic. Yeah. Dark and evil aren't exactly the same thing. Exactly. That's important. Well, can you tell me about the yin and yang dragons? Yeah, like the yin and yang mega dragons, as I'm calling them. They represent, yeah, like the yin and the yang, the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And when they both awake, it will spur this like divine counterpart union situation. And I sense that the yang one, like the yin one, I think is already awake. The yang one, I think he might be waking up. He might have already like just woken up this past weekend. We'll see. I got to sit with that energy some more. But yeah, they represent like there are these physical like embodiments in the grid of yin and yang, feminine, masculine energies. Cool. Yeah, we got some, love for the black dragons. Glad to hear it. And Ankra says, are there mirror dragons or glass dragons? As I always say, there's a dragon for that. If you can imagine it, there's a dragon for that. There's a dragon for everything. Literally everything. They're so ancient for everything. And in my community, House of the Spirit Dragon, we've talked about this. Like we've talked about and worked with like so many different kinds of dragons. It would blow your mind. Chantel says weed is a sacred herb. Yes, and it vibrates at a certain frequency, and that frequency isn't necessarily the highest frequency that a person can vibrate at, but it is a sacred herb, and it can certainly help people, a lot of people, as a bridge to start to feel what it's like to vibrate at the higher frequencies if they're struggling to get there on their own. But not everyone needs weed to get there on their own. Chris says, is caffeine okay to have? And I will say, anything is okay to have. Like if you feel it's for you, and so like you got to listen to your body and be like, is this for me? Is caffeine for me? Is weed for me? If it is right now, like that's cool. Follow that. You got to listen. You got to do you, boo. Cool. Excited to co-create with you on Monday, Katie. Alrighty, so this is the last one I'm gonna answer because we're at time now, just about. Phoenix says, are there bad dragons? And I would say, of course there are. Just like anything, like there's good and bad versions of everything. So as always, like when connecting with dragons, just like with anything, you want to sit with the frequency and notice, does it feel contracting at all? Is there like fear coming up? Or does it feel like light and expansive, like opening? Usually the contracting feeling, it will denote some false energy, you could say, some not in your highest good sort of energy. The expansive feeling usually denotes like something you can trust. And yeah, you learn to do this and you'll get better and better at it the more that you practice it. Cool. Alki says, thank you. Makes a lot of sense. Have found weed used to make me more creative. It doesn't anymore. Meditation's so much deeper without. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's interesting the evolution that happens. Adriana says, are you following a vegan diet? Not necessarily. I tend to eat vegan, but I don't stick to that because again, I don't believe there's any rules. There's any like hard and fast rules of like all people shouldn't eat meat, all people shouldn't have caffeine, all people shouldn't smoke weed, or all people should. It's just like what's right for you specifically and what's not. And that can change in any given moment too. So I always just listen to my body and ask like, hey body, what do you need? Sometimes my body wants to eat meat, especially when I'm on my period because I'm missing the iron and my body really, really wants meat at that time. And so I give it to my body. And so I would say, yeah, no need to ever push yourself into like certain behavioral patterns, eating patterns, anything like that. If it feels unalive or unaligned, check what feels aligned in your body. Take action from that. Beautiful, Athena. Welcome to the crew. Welcome to the crew. So happy to have you. And with that, I think we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up. And congrats, Andrew, who joined us in Path of the Dragon Initiate before we close the doors there. Awesome, you got in. Congrats, Andrew. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Looking forward to co-creating with all of my Dragon Initiates on Monday. And if you're still like on the fence, you got a couple more days to decide whether it's for you or not. Like I said, if you're watching the recording, the link will be in the description. You can also go to my website. Would love to have you there. But if it's not for you, that's cool too. I look forward to co-creating with you just in this collective at large. And yeah, like seeing your comments on my videos and stuff like that. So know that me and the dragons are sending you so much love, high vibe energy, abundance, joy, peace, flow, authenticity, all the high vibe energies. Know that you are so worthy. You've got this. It is your time. It is your time to fly, my friends. What are you going to do next? Much love and stay powerful. Bye-bye.